Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is a scene for the Changeling venue. Here we have Valerius as he is kind of still patching up his wounds and a little distraught about the Green Summer's trial. And yeah, it's one of those things. He feels kind of bad that he was exiled, but at least he's not dead. That's the important thing. And as he's sitting there, he's there with his page and they're going over stuff, materials. He's doing it the traditional way, showing him books, tactics, and just kind of just being like a mentor to him. It's kind of a little spontaneous, but Valerius is cracking jokes, but a lot of this is still very new to him. So he's there, he's taking care of this page and just trying to get him through his fostering, apparently, since Fiona trying to train a Gwydion not to fail. So, with this, we'll start our scene as Valerius is pacing back and forth and kind of going over materials, rhetoric, how to speak, how to hold your head, the whole noble spiel.
I could use some of that myself in character. Lord. Anyway, right, pacing. Eve will make her way up towards his cozy little home, past the garden, which is probably starting to bloom a little bit now.
Yep.
And knock on the door.
With this, Valerius will turn to the door. Bartholomew, get the door. Yes, sir, no problem. He'll get the door and says, "Can a little troll about yay how get to the door and say, 'Can I help you, ma'am?'"
Yeah. I'd like to speak to Baron Valerius.
He was like, "Just a moment," as he kind of pushes the door to. "Baron!" "Yes? Somebody's here to see you." I believe she said her name was Eve. I think. It looks like her, anyway. As Baron will kind of look at him and say,
Just gonna laugh at that. Like, really? I'm getting that well known?
and I'm just like, alright. And he said, "Let her in. I mean, she's been out there for a while." As Troll will come back and say, "Yeah, he'll see you." As Valerius is there, he'll kind of wave. It's like, look at Bartholomew, he'll kind of scroll about him like, "Hi, what's up?"
Hi. You keep the most interesting people here. It's a bit like a menagerie.
It's an interesting
And I'm not. It is. I wasn't just referring to, like, creatures. I didn't mean it quite like that.
No, you weren't trying to be outwardly offensive, I know.
I didn't mean it like that. We'll call it a circus instead.
Circus? My house isn't a circus, Eve. That's not nice. As he'll look at him and kind of smile, knowing that
I just meant how you have so many people here.
Yes. And I have another person. This is my page. This is Dorian. Dorian, say hi. Dorian will kind of look up, not knowing how to respond, and just kind of look at you. "Dorian, what did I tell you? Get up. Be respectful." He'll kind of bow to you and say, "I'm Dorian at Gwydion." And it'll kind
Nice
of
to meet you, Dorian.
see, was it that hard, Valerius, to look at him? He's like, "No, come on, I tell you, confidence, boy, confidence, you can get it." Like, and yeah, just review chapters 1 through 3, and I'll be back to quiz you in a minute. And then we can go out and we can do some training regimens, maybe have a food fight, goof off with the troops, maybe. All right, remember, take your stuff to the room. I'll call you if I need you. And he'll kind of motion to the seat. "Please have a seat." As he'll kind of push a bubble of fruit juice towards you.
Wow, a bubble of fruit juice. Well, except the bubble of fruit juice. But out of my bag, because I'm assuming she's carrying some sort of bag with her at this point. I should have mentioned that earlier. Actually, she's going to pull out kind of a brown bottle. It doesn't look very fancy at all. In fact, you might even guess she tried to wipe all the dust off, but there might have been a little bit on there still. and it has a homemade label on it. She sets it in front of him. I
Oh,
brought you a housewarming gift, and I'm sorry it's not very fancy.
oh, thank you. Um, I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly is this? Like, as he's kind of looking at the bottle.
A friend of mine makes homemade honeyed mead, and I thought you might like to try it.
Nice, nice.
Sorry for the dust part. I should have probably cleaned it better.
Yeah, don't worry about
But
it. I'll
yeah,
have,
I just
yeah.
thought you could use a little something.
Oh, thank you so much, hon. As he'll look to Bartholomew, put this away. I want to enjoy this later when I take my bubble bath. It'll be glorious.
But filled with the room that has the bubbles in it, bubbles around you, and bubbles in the bath, and
Yeah. Izil kind of look and says, "So, what's up?"
a lot of things, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a commoner was exiled.
Which is better than the alternative from the rumors I hear?
Yes, this is much, much better than the alternative. As Valerius kind of gets a flashback and kind of shudders and says, "Yeah, bad time, bad scene."
Right. I don't know. I guess one thing I there's just so much going on. I don't even know where to start. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um, if you look at her, you can just kind of tell she's not quite her usual self. She's not like bubbly at all. Not
all
as much. You know what I mean? It's kind of like down.
right,
All right, just in the carriage and whatever. Um,
all right. Valerius is going to do a perception empathy to see if he can pick up on that.
cool.
Yes, he does pick up on that. He's very perceptive, sir.
She's not trying to hide it, so yeah.
All right. He kind of looks at her and says, "Are you okay?"
Um, not my best.
You're not your usual bubbly self.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, really. I mean, there's so much other stuff going on that it kind of feels insignificant now, but
Not at all. What's on your mind, hon?
I just feel like I'm absolutely horrible at this whole being political thing.
How so?
Well, I didn't realize it until like 2 days later, but I think I almost accidentally insulted a lot of really important people.
Well, as my dad used to tell me, if you're not making mistakes, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, well, these particular people could really just. Ugh, man. You were there? That war council. Oh my god.
That war council. Yes, there was a lot of heated discussions, a lot of heated words, but at the end of the day, I believe we all want what's best for the Kingdom of Apples. I truly believe that.
Well, I hope so. I think you do. But you also seem like a real person as compared to them, which I've only just met, but it just kind of seemed like all they wanted to do was pick apart anything that was said.
Yes, part of them, and a lot of them wanted a reason to, I guess, tarnish my up and coming name.
Why? Why wouldn't they want to keep someone who seems to be a good leader?
Jealousy, past mistakes, the list goes on.
I don't know. I guess my thing is I just feel like I'm just completely like out of my depth in dealing with this stuff. I'm just a girl who surfs. I like to go swimming.
And I'm a guy that likes to party and hang out. But you know what? It's just an aspect of who I am. Just like the surfer girl, it's just an aspect of who you are.
It actually feels like pretty much that's all I am. I'm just trying to be something I'm not.
Well, being political doesn't mean you have to put on a face. It just means you need to know what to say and how to say it and when to say it.
Yeah, well, I don't know that either.
Well, it's a learning thing, just like I had to learn, and you'll learn too.
I just hate being fake, and everything that goes on in that place seems like I have to be fake.
You don't necessarily have to be fake. You have to be political.
And that's the same thing.
No, not really. Being fake is feigning interest in something. I don't feign interest in things that I don't like. The polite thing would be for me to not say anything at all if something wasn't to my liking. That doesn't change the fact that doesn't change my feelings about the situation, it's just how I handled it.
I don't know. Just seems like a fine distinction, which, no offense, she seem to be able to do much better than I, a simple selkie, can do.
No, I
Because
think
you guys are built for this. I'm not.
as Valerius will kind of reach under his desk and say that, well, when I was going through my fostering and I was having much the same problem, as he'll go and pull out a little Harlequin mask, I had this bad habit of showing everything that was on my face and whatever was bothering me. I was incredibly transparent, which was okay for somebody that was young when I was a child, but when you grow older, certain things are less becoming. So as I grew up, he kind of puts the mask on his face. You kind of shift what part of your personality you want to show to the world. True, I know that you're a surfer girl. That's an awesome, awesome thing. As he kind of puts the mask on your face, not really on it, but kind of puts it in front of your face and says, "But what else is Eve? What else do you want to show people? For one thing, you're very smart. You're really quick on the upkeep. Not if you notice during the meeting that a lot of things you caught and other people kind of caught later, which is a good thing.
I don't remember what you're referring to there.
Being political is more than looking the part, it's being able to adapt to the situation. And I think you're doing it. Even though you're floundering, you're doing it.
You know the only reason I'm really doing it at this point?
Mm.
Because somebody has to. And I don't really want to endanger someone else when I'm already endangering myself. There's no point.
Well, my darling, everybody has a cross to bear. I mean, mine is me, being a baron, doing the best I can, learning
And
how,
apparently,
learning how
and
to.
apparently your bad reputation.
It's a reputation, but not all of it's bad.
Well, you're the one who was going on about how bad it was, and sending me home early and stuff.
Oh, well, I just didn't want, just in case something terrible happened, like at the last hearing of a commoner. But to be fair, this was a titled commoner. I didn't want you to get caught in the crossfire. It was just me looking out for you. That's all.
I can take care of myself.
True,
I
but
have been for a long time now.
I didn't imply that you couldn't.
I
But
know. I'm sorry. I'm just a little sensitive right now.
it's
I
just,
actually, I actually really appreciate that you're protective of me, even though I'm not going to tell anybody else that.
it is what it is, darling. I mean, I just don't want to see anybody else make the same mistakes I did. As he kind of looks at you and smiles and kind of starts playing with the bubble of punch, kind of swirling it.
Yeah, that, like I said, all that I mean, it's still important to me, but like in the heat of like the battle that happened while I was out of town and everything, it, yeah, I had a competition, so
Did you
yeah,
win?
second place, not bad.
Second place is second place. Not bad, champ. As he kind of looks at you and smiles. Like,
Well, unless you actually pay attention to this stuff, you don't really know what's going on. There are people that do, though. But in here in New York, not so many.
and speaking of which, you know how to talk to people when you're not trying to be abrasive.
Abrasive.
Yes, you have a way about you, darling.
I'm not usually trying to be abrasive. I'm just trying to be. I just like to tease you.
No, you just like being honest.
I
And
do like being honest. That's not abrasive.
yes, it can be because honesty is sometimes abrasive. Some people are not ready to accept that truth.
Well, those people are not built to be my friends, then, I guess.
Not everybody has to be your friend.
Exactly. That's my point.
My point I'm trying to make, it's all part of being political. Just because I
Just
smile on your face doesn't mean I'm your friend.
really. So now you're telling me you're not my friend.
I didn't say that. I just say I know how to play the game.
I'm just making my point here.
I mean, you can do the very same thing too. I mean, like the way you were having lesbian weirdness with Alicia. Like, yes, playing the game.
Oh,
Seeming
I think I think she was just being silly. I'm not really sure.
as hilarious to kind of look and say, I guess. Like,
I have no idea at this point.
I don't know.
I
It is
guess I'll deal with that when the time comes. If it comes up as more than just a joke.
jokes, 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 jokes. Yes, as he looks at Alicia and kind of rolls his eyes. Segment. Anyway,
What about her? I consider her a friend. I do. She's
yeah,
been very helpful to me since I first started hanging out with you guys.
yeah, but she's also a person that has the motive. As he kind of looks at,
Emotive?
yeah,
Oh, I know she does. She wants to learn skycraft.
see, like you know that, and you're using it
Of
to
course
your
I know that. She told me right up front that she wanted to learn how to do it. It's the most transparent motive ever when she announces it.
right. So this is what I'm saying. You're not bad at politics. It's not like you taught her like gave her cookies and didn't expect payment. I mean, you're not awful. Like,
I just,
I'd tell you if you were god awful at this. Like,
I
now,
mean, all I only did was ask if anybody knew anything about that situation. And then I realized like 2 days later that that could have been taken as an insult.
well, they put it this way: you have an official position. They can't do anything to you. Just take a look at it this way: you have diplomatic immunity, unless they want to start a war with the Selkie court, which I don't think is on the top of their priorities.
They have bigger fish to fry than a bunch of seals.
Exactly. So,
There are a bunch of peacekeeper seals that really just don't. They just kind of want to be left alone, really. That
precisely.
was some. That was something else that was kind of bothering me. The way that I mean, and I realized it was a war council, but
Hmm.
the way that they were just kind of seeing like it just seemed like they only looked at people for the use that they could be to them, whether it's the Nunahai or the Selkies. They didn't see them as people. They just saw them as, well, we can pay them off. So, and they just assumed, well, what if you can't this time? They're people. They might have other motives.
This is true. This is why
And
it's important to have an open mind and not cave into the the bullshit of the world, as Valerius kind of blurts out. I mean, my teacher Blake, who was a she like myself, who's part of my fostering, wonderful Fiona. I always wasn't part of the Kingdom of Apples. I moved here when I accepted the position of Marin. So yeah, and he used to tell me that there was a lot of good with me, a lot of good in me. I'm brash, have a lot of
you
tendencies,
are, yes.
a lot of tendencies and quirks, but all in all, I'm a good person deep down. Not as bloodthirsty as most people, but I believe that commoners keep you honest in a sense, you know? If you can talk to a commoner, I think without it seeming fake and plastic, I think you're on the right track.
Well, I'm not sure what I consider myself to be at this point. So maybe I'm a commoner, and maybe I'm not. I have no idea at this point. I'm just here trying to help my people, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Depends
I
on
wasn't even I wasn't even seeing the bigger picture at first, but now I see where maybe I can. But it just kind of like, God, I mean, if I make a wrong decision or say the wrong thing, it just kind of I mean, it just feels like there's so much heavy on my head now just because I agreed to help. Like, it could be my fault that a lot of people die.
like Valeria said,
Either way.
I've made
Hmm?
a ton of mistakes. Yes, I've said the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Well, that's why I'm talking to you about it, because I know you have to deal with this in a military fashion a lot.
Yeah,
And but it's new to me. You realize this, right?
yes, yes, of course.
And I'm not military, but
You can if you want to.
no, thank you. What am I supposed to do? Join your house?
You really wanted to and you were serious about it.
I'm not really serious about joining a house. I have enough issues right now.
The offer's out there if you ever want to. If you ever want to do more for your people, dealing with land dwellers has its perks. With enough prestige and enough honor, you'll be able to push things. You could be more
Maybe.
powerful than you think, since nobody's paying any attention to you, which is the best thing. You're just new and exotic, which is beautiful.
Oh, no, I'm beautiful?
You are. As Valerius kind of shifts his eyes, like, I'm not having this conversation. As he kind of takes a long sip. Clearly, he's blushing right now. And anyway, so, yeah, that's how I see it, if you were really serious about it.
Something to keep in mind.
Mhm.
I don't feel any commitment to any particular house of any variety at this point. I'm
It's just
just,
something.
I don't know, just trying to survive this with, as little guilt as possible, kind of, at this point.
It's honestly up to you.
I know.
But understand that not making a decision is still making a decision.
It is, and I think there's actually some strength in being independent. It's a personal strength, not a group strength.
If I still had my independence, there's a lot of things I would do differently.
Like what?
Oh, that's a conversation for another time. But so quite a few things I do differently. But, hindsight is 2020.
Well, if you were married once, you're clearly quite a bit older than me, and which means you don't have to tell me your age, but I know that despite what you look like, you must be older than me.
How old do you think I am? As he kind of looks at you with a quiz look, like,
You look somewhere around my age. I'm only 18.
well,
Maybe a little older, I don't know.
to be fair, I was engaged when I was.
Squirtle, 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 squirtle.
Sorry, that was my phone. It squirtled.
Squirtle, squirtle, squirtle,
And
squirtle.
it's still squirtling. Let me turn that down.
I was engaged when I was 13.
Holy crap, were you actually in love at 13?
No, it was political. I didn't have a choice in that. But
So was it another she?
when I found out and I actually met her, yeah,
No, I was just wondering. It's a question, not any kind of implication.
no implication like garnered from that. But yeah, we kind of grew to like each other and eventually love each other. It wasn't always like that though. We used to fight all the time, competitions and swearing, and it was awful at the beginning. But then I guess it turned from rage to passion to love. It was a weird mess. It was fun, but a weird mess.
Well, if you're engaged at 13, I can see why.
Yeah.
A 13-year-old should be engaged.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Oh, my father had land and she had land, and it was just like, well, you're an able lad. Get your ass out there. As he kind of laughs. Like, Make Fiona proud.
So, okay, so this wasn't like, several centuries ago or anything, right?
No,
Okay. Just checking, because getting engaged at 13 sounds like, the 1500s or something.
it wasn't centuries ago. I'm not that old.
Well, I have no idea. I know how the dreaming can work.
Yes.
Eventually, it's going to catch up to me, and I will too look younger than I really am.
But no, this was fairly human years. I'd say this was about maybe 40 years ago.
Wow. Okay. Just curious, because I really am like 18.
Oh,
I'm just saying it's not like. I guess my point is the whole point with the age thing is just that my experiences are a bit different than you. What you're describing, I appreciate it, but like it's not the freshest memory for you.
fresh memories. Yeah, I guess I see your point. Fresh memories now is meeting all of these, as he kind of puts up his hands, eccentric changeling. Like,
Eccentric? Are we referring to me again?
oh, no, 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 no. You're eccentric, but not eccentric with a capital E. Like,
I see.
yes, there was a lot of politicus and me trying to make my house look good. As he kind of mumbles off, even if it wasn't my first choice.
It wasn't your first choice. Your house or trying to make it look good?
Oh, my house. Don't tell anyone I said that.
I won't.
Yeah,
Scout's honor.
yeah, that wasn't my first choice.
Scout's honor.
Yeah.
Out of game. I actually was a Girl Scout, so
Boy Scout went all the way to Eagle, but back in character. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, as he says, it's getting stuffy in here. We can do something.
Sure.
Where do you live anyway?
I actually have a house in I think it's in Brooklyn, but it is a freehold,
Okay.
which is in a cave underwater.
Oh, see. Still swimming. As he kind of laughs, he says, and he looks down at his armor like, oh, well, that would be a problem then. Like, kind of.
You, I was going to invite you. It's kind of a work in progress right now because I recently got rid of a lot of the old stuff in there.
Mm.
But I'm building a new house in there at the moment. And seeing as how it doesn't really rain ever, the fact that the roof isn't quite on yet isn't an issue.
Mm-hmm. As Valerius will kind of say, well, let's have a look then. As he kind of starts,
So you can swim.
start taking off his armor and kind of handing it to Bartholomew. And then, like, he's kind of giving him, like, a death glare, like, what are you doing? Like, she's standing right there. And then
Just sit back and watch.
Valerius is just like, what? She was
Not lasciviously. I'm not like trying to give you the eye here, but I am gonna watch.
And Valerius is she's like, what? Like, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be, ass naked. Like, it's improper, Baron. Like, really? Like, she's not gonna tell anyone. Like, it's like, he kind of gives me a look, like, you should know better. I'm just like, fine. God, he's just like, Eve, I'll be right back. Like,
This girl doesn't give a crap about nudity. Like seriously, she's probably been to a million topless beaches.
as he'll look back and say, formalities. Like, you can't have a scandal like, oh.
Sniff the fruit punch and see if it's like alcoholic.
I mean, it's not spiked, but there's like alcohol everywhere. So, like, if you
Oh
want
no, it's okay. I was just curious if it was. I don't really think that's for the best plan if I have to save your butt as you're coming through a tunnel.
Valerius will start taking off his armor. You're there for like a good 40 minutes as it's like getting removed and
Start looking around the room, flipping through books. Nothing rude, but if it's an obvious public book, then there's nothing to worry about.
mm-hmm. Actually, give me perception investigation because I'm assuming she's just picking things up and putting things down.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
the difficulty 6. It's not hard to find. It's like standard. Like if you're looking, you'll find it.
it's a case of my character getting bored. Can you roll 3 for me? It's all I have is perception. Although investigation is that knowledge,
Yeah.
then I can't really roll it, can I?
We'll give you a flat perception.
Okay, that's still only 3.
Nah, you don't see it.
I don't see nothing.
You don't see it.
It's nothing important.
Nothing important. All right. As quite some time comes back, and Valerius, wow, you've only seen him in armor or in like formal robes, but just seeing him in, I guess, swimming trunks, he's rather attractive.
I've seen the picture of his face. That's enough for me to see stuff.
Yeah,
It's
but
right there. See? It's on the screen.
yay! As he comes out, it's just like, are you ready? He's wearing swimming trunks, flip flops.
Sure. I'm ready.
It's like cool. As he kind of
Right.
looks at her and like, see, it could have been fun if Bartholomew wasn't such a buzzkill. God, like,
You
as
could have sent him out of the room and asked me to help.
inappropriate. As he kind of looks.
She says that, then just kind of like stands up, takes his arm, and leaves the room, just like as if they're a completely proper couple. Because like he's in swim trunks and she's like wearing like her sundress, so she's pretty much standardly is wearing like a sundress with flip flops.
Oh, as he's getting dragged out the house, Bartholomew lock the door. Make sure Sarah's okay. Watch after Dorian. I'll be back. Satara, as you're getting dragged out, he says, Satara is a new issue that underwent her chrysalis outside my house. I hope she doesn't wander off. Make sure she doesn't wander.
You have an issue around and you're worried about wandering? Come on now, that's what they do.
I mean, Adhene and shit. I don't want her to like, I'll speak
Okay, you're right. Right, and he got it. They're a little close right now.
Right. As
They're going, issue wandering. Okay.
as I guess Valerius is getting dragged through wherever, and he's just like, all right, kind of laughing, where are we going?
Well, it's not that far from here. I'd say maybe 20 minutes walk that way, at least to the edge of the water.
Oh, cool. Let's go look. Wow, it's pretty out here.
It's as we get closer to the water, it's like kind of like it's this kind of really old, dense forest that but there's kind of a half-worn path because she's come this way a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell that she's familiar with the way she's going.
All right.
And it is one of those really old forests that it's like really tall and it's pretty dense, and there's like a lot of wildlife around.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you'll come up on like a really rocky. It's like a rocky beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything that you would think of as really like enticing or like Florida beaches or Jamaica. We're not talking anything really nice, but it's just like a kind of a New England rocky sort of beach.
All right.
And there's a little cottage down the way, but she just kind of ignores that and keeps heading for the water.
I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah. So now what? As he kind of looks at the water.
Well, I will show you this because you might want to know this at some point. I don't, since obviously it's sort of difficult to get down there and all that, unless somebody can swim and knows the way. I do have like a little message box set up over here so that people can like leave me a message and I check it obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You can also like leave your shoes there if you want to for now. I intend to leave my current clothing there as well.
Well, Valerius will kind of kick his sandals over there. All right. So, kind of.
Are you sure you're ready?
Yeah.
I mean, swimming is not a big thing for me. Obviously, I do it like every day, but you
Yeah.
know.
If you can do it, I can do it. As Valerius will look at her.
Do you think? Is that
Yes.
a challenge?
Yes. I can do it. I'm good at this. As he looks at the funny.
Out of character? Seriously, it's like Dex 4, Athletics 4.
He'll fail, but he doesn't care.
Wait. With specialty in water sports and sure-footed. Two different specialties that both apply to surfing.
Valerius doesn't care. He's full of himself. So he's
She's
just
probably going to win here.
probably. Hopefully she doesn't get too competitive and let him die.
No, she's not doing that. No. She's just, really, are you sure? One of those things. Do you want me to stay human-like? Or, because I can lead you through as a seal quicker, but I don't know how fast you can swim. So I can stay as a human, and if you prefer that.
Never seen you as a seal, but I guess. I mean,
No, I'll shift. I have no problem with shifting. It's the most fun thing ever.
all right. You look at
Not the shifting part, just the being the seal. You have no idea.
all right.
I was just checking with you because I can get, well, you've seen seals. We
Yeah.
tend to be a rather fun group, and yeah, it tends
As
to be we're jumping around and things.
Valerius will look at you and bite his tongue. All right, let's see it.
Well, she takes off the dress and she's wearing like this one-piece bathing suit. It's just and you can tell it looks like a black seal skin.
Uh-huh.
There's one button unbuttoned,
Mm-hmm.
but it stays up because it's her freaking skin, like it would fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of crooks her finger back, like, come on. And she walks into the water
Mm-hmm.
and dives in,
Mm-hmm.
and then next thing you see is a seal kind of jumping up out of the water, just kind of doing a little seal jumps, whoosh, and then back into the water.
Oh, shit. All right. Valerius will look and kind of laugh like this should be fun. I haven't had fun in a while.
Then she comes back up for air, just kind of waiting.
All right. As Valerius will kind of dive in after her. Should spend a willpower on this. I don't like totally.
I'm not rolling anything. I don't see the point. She's not trying to show off. She's just going to lead you, and that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That should do it.
All right.
I made it point that it was close enough that if you can swim, that decently, then you can get down there and get there.
Yeah.
So I made it because I wanted people to be able to get there. I wanted it to be separate. Obviously kind of private, but
Right.
anyway.
Just so everybody knows, I took that like he's never actually gone swimming, so I took that at a difficulty of 7. It's not actually hard, but it's kind of difficult if you're not doing this every day. So. All right, he's in the water. He's kind of following you. So
Go ahead, but yeah, just lead the way. But if he seems like he's getting behind, slow up a bit. Stay like not very far from him at all.
all right, it looks like he's done this. He's definitely in shape. So him swimming, it's uncoordinated. It looks kind of funny looking, but it's not like he's struggling. He's able to kind of make it through.
That's cool. We can make it easier on the way out, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
If you don't want to make the swim back out, it's more fun this way. You have to admit it is.
Yeah, it is. He's like kind of looks like a fish out of water, but he's trying to make it work.
At one point, she kind of circles around him and kind of, brushes across his back with her fin, and then shoots ahead again.
All right. He's like looking at her like, stop it! I'm trying to concentrate.
She's not like trying to like push him, just kind of, just gentle, like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lead on, and basically you just go down for a short little bit, maybe not very long at all, and you see there's kind of not a huge hole, but big enough that you shouldn't feel claustrophobic going through it. Not some little 3-foot hole or something. It's decent sized. You could stand up in it if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd lead you through there.
He's following.
Mm-hmm. And eventually you come up. If you follow her, obviously she's gonna just pretty much go straight up and like dive out, like and dive back into the water again. Pretty
Mhm.
much, you're coming up there.
Right.
Yeah, and when you do that, um, basically it just looks like a kind of an ocean inlet kind of thing. Um, there's beach. It's a much nicer beach than the one above.
Mhm.
It's a nice smooth sand beach. Um, there's like this table of like driftwood, basically built of driftwood that's sort of sitting off to one side. A couple of it look like seriously just ordinary lawn chairs sitting on the beach.
Mhm.
It looks so random with that with when you see all the when you see the other stuff around that like these two random plastic like lawn chairs
Mhm.
sitting there. But the first thing you would notice is that like the air around you kind of how it looks when you look through water, that
Mhm.
kind of wavy, kind of off look. That's how the air looks.
Sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, eventually she's gonna like head towards the beach because I'm sure you would do the same thing as soon as you came up for air.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she would go underwater there and kind of gonna pop back up and you kind of see it like one of her little fins kind of fiddling up here a little bit and then she shifts back into a human
Mhm.
and the button is unbuttoned again
Cool.
and
Wow.
she just kind of walks out. So if you walk entirely out of the water, which I'm certain you will,
Yes.
you're suddenly going to realize that you are not wet at all. You are completely dry.
Hmm. As he kind of looks, he's like, "Well, this is odd." Okay.
She just kind of looks back and she's like, people tend to be uncomfortable when they come out of there.
Mm.
So I figure at least they might as well be dry.
I can dig it.
And I have some extra clothes if you're not comfortable hanging out in just your swim trunks.
No, he looks at you, kind of winks. I'm fine.
I'm fine with it.
As he starts kind of looking around, like, wow. Hmm.
Um, and there's though I'm guessing you might not have noticed exactly, but like a little further back, I mean, it's not just the beach there because it kind of starts getting into some grass and stuff as you get further back.
Hmm.
And there's like you can see what's starting to form. There's like this little cottage. It's not huge, but it's definitely going to be it's big enough. Basically, I'll tell you out of game, it's like it's going to have 3 bedrooms in it eventually, so that gives you an idea of size.
Hmm.
Um, and it's if you know anything about house styles, it's a Cape Cod style. So it looks like it would belong on a right by the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not made of any ordinary stuff. It's made of some. I don't know if you know. Do you know anything about like it's like I guess it'd be science if you know about coral reefs and stuff like that. It's made of coral, like a wide variety. There's some red in here, some blue. There's some yellows and whites. It's like this kind of almost tie-dye, crazy looking colors that you're seeing. Although none of it's real clear yet
Mm.
because everything's still kind of forming up,
Cool.
and there's not much of a roof yet.
Valeris will kind of look back at you and said, "It fits you. Fits you. I can
All
see.
the crazy colors.
Yeah, it fits you.
I like the colors.
I like the
I
colors.
chose them.
I like the colors too. I like it.
I'm gonna plant a garden over there, but I'm not really quite certain. I haven't quite gotten that far yet. I want the house up first before I do that.
Fair enough.
I can show you the inside of the house. You'll get the basic idea of how it's going to be set up.
He's like, show me.
Okay. I mean, there's not even a door yet. There's just like an opening where the door is going to be. So you kind of walk in there, and she's going to pretty much describe. Okay, basically we're walking into a living room area that it's a really long open space.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like she's going to kind of point out like there's over here this is like going to be kind of a living room area, and then back here a dining room, and then the kitchen in the far back, and right there I think that's where I'm going to have steps down to a basement, but I don't know what I want to do with that yet. So it's at the moment it's unfinished.
As Valeris will kind of look at the basement, laugh like, yes, I like this place. It's pretty.
Hmm.
Huh. I'll have to come and visit you sometime.
You should. I'll show you the easier way.
Oh no, I like the fun one.
Okay,
It'll
sure,
force
but
it'll force me to be good at swimming. It'll be, I'll get better eventually. And she kind of looks at you in a matter of fact way. It's fine. It's fine. Um, as Valerius has said, I need to give you a gift. Hmm.
you give me a gift.
Yeah, of course. First time I'm here, I can't come empty-handed. So, what do you like?
You don't have to give me a gift.
That's not what I asked you, silly. Like,
I like a lot of things. I don't
such
know what you're asking for here. What, am I supposed to ask for an engagement ring?
cute. But what do you want? Like, what would be appropriate? What do you need?
A way to send messages, because obviously right now it's kind of hard to do.
What,
But no, I'm working on that. I don't expect you to come up with my to resolve my problems.
you know, I mean, your mailbox outside seems,
Oh, it does what it needs to do. It just means I have to go up and check it, though, which isn't the most prompt way to do things.
hmm, maybe if you get some type of manservant, should be, oh, he's like, right. You don't have manservants. Yeah, I guess it'll be a bit of a walk then. Like,
No, I'm actually thinking I might try to make a chimera that can take messages.
hmm, cool.
Not sure what yet, but something. The
Right.
problem is the water air issue. Maybe a
Right.
frog. A frog could do it.
Great. Frank could probably do it.
Need an amphibian.
As he looks at you, he's like, you like weed, right? What kind of narcotics do you like?
Honestly, I don't have any particular favorites. I just kind of go with the flow on this stuff.
You smoke weed? Like, that's
Well,
really
of course I do.
what
You've seen me do it. You've smelled it on me.
great. As he kind of steps outside, and he's just like, all right, see if I can do this. As he kind of looks at it,
I was actually thinking about growing some, but then I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet.
he's gonna look at
Like,
the ground, and he's gonna say, oh, a part of me, a part of you. Let's change this up. Let's see. Part of me, as he'll say, a part of me, part of you. Let's make a change right here, right now. As he's going to.
she's watching curiously at this point, like,
Let's, right, just making sure I'm rolling enough. Since it's we're in the dreaming, I'm gonna say it's like diff 3, because it's dreaming. Alright. Wow. Yeah,
you seem to be successful.
quite successful. Um, as you see, as he kind of looks at the ground and kind of starts waving his hand over it, and his hands kind of glow, and you see different types of weed and marijuana just kind of pop up around the house. Like
Wow.
you see some of the kind of harder stuff, like
I could become a. I could start selling drugs from here, man.
probably. It's like some of the harder grade stuff is kind of near the back, but the nice mellow stuff is sort of near the front. Different colors, different textures, and kind of as you look at it, it kind of has little swirls on it. It looks like it'll be a fun little magical high if you were to smoke it. And they kind of, when you touch it, they kind of roll themselves up into a very nice joint.
Wow, that's like the best weed ever. You don't even have to work. You don't even have to work for it.
So he was just like, yeah, and just that's a gift. There you go. So if you have a
I
boy,
think that it makes my silly little gift kind of pale, doesn't it?
your gift was fine. It'll be sure.
Oh,
I loved it. Seriously, it was an awesome gift. I'll be sure to enjoy it tonight. As he kind of rubs his hands,
good.
or or as he'll kind of say, or tomorrow morning, whatever. Um,
Whatever works.
whatever
It's
works.
yours. Do with whatever you like with it. I'm not here to get offended by when you choose to drink it.
As Valeris will kind of walk back in the house and kind of sit on the table or the lawn chair,
Well,
whatever.
yeah, the lawn chairs and stuff are actually on the beach because she hasn't really been staying in the house yet. She
Or
hasn't even actually showed you the bedrooms yet. She was pretty sure that was what she was going to do next, was actually when you decide to walk outside.
all right,
It's cool. No, because then there's like, then she was going to take you off to the left, and there's 3 bedrooms, and there's like, bathrooms and whatever, but those are boring.
but
But the weird thing, this is the weirdest thing. Nothing is fully formed in this house. You just kind of see vague shapes. You can tell kind of what it's supposed to be, but it's obviously not done yet.
right,
There's no roof. There's like no furniture yet. But the only thing you can see in the house at this point that is fully formed is that there's this huge, huge bed that in the bedroom, like obviously the master. That's the only thing that's fully formed at this point in here. She doesn't acknowledge that at all, though. She just thinks the only thing, it's like this big, like, old wood bed that has like like an anchor, like carved into the back of it. Like, almost like, so it looks like something maybe she like got it. Maybe some captain from an old pirate ship had it at some point or something, and maybe she just got it.
mm-hmm.
Swimming or whatever. That's like you might imagine a mermaid might do. Just finding it somewhere and taking it. But that's kind of what it looks like. But it's the only thing that's like fully formed in here, is that bed. There's nothing else fully formed. But anyway, she's like I said, she doesn't say anything about that. She's just kind of showing you, and these are the bedrooms, and here's this. Oh, look, there's closets. That's exciting. And then heads back outside.
All right, Valeris will probably, seeing the bed, he's probably gonna jump on it like an idiot, and just kind of start jumping on the bed and looking at her. Ha 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 ha. Smile.
What?
He's like, what?
And I thought I was the childish one here.
I love having fun. It's like I make fun.
Jump on it. I don't care.
As Valeris keeps jumping on it like an idiot.
Join him. Why the hell not?
Okay, so they both kind of jumping on the bed.
We should probably like roll decks to see if someone falls off the bed or something.
That's. Oh, Valeris is quite fine. Oh.
I'm just going because, yeah, I have decks of 4, sure-footed. I'm pretty sure this would be an unstable thing, so sure-footed would probably apply.
He's fine.
I'm totally good. Look at all that. I got like 6.
Yeah, fine.
I'm like stable.
Yeah, so I guess they're kind of jumping on the bed. Valeris looks like he's about to fall a few times. So he's like, ha ha, and she's kind of just jumping up and down.
At some point when he looks like he's about to fall, she's going to actually tackle him. Like, pin him on the bed.
Oh boy. Okay, Valeris will just kind of just fall on the bed, like start laughing uncontrollably.
So is she. That's the whole point.
As he's just kind of going to look at her and then probably blush profusely. Like, okay, that's
Just let the silence draw out, seriously. That's like, just laugh, but don't say anything.
Like he's kind of looking to the left, looking to the right. He's like, okay, all right. I mean, if she's like right on top of him.
Yeah, she was like pinning him.
You can kind of feel his heartbeat, like. So if there was.
Roll off of him. Roll off of him.
Huh? Roll off. All right.
Yeah, and just kind of, but then just kind of like lean on one arm like this, and just kind of.
It was just like, what?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. He just starts laughing. What's so funny? As he kind of stops and looks at her. Heart still racing.
So, do you like the honesty or do you not? Because that's what I'm confused about now.
What do you mean?
Well, you said before when you were a child, you spent more time, being like upfront and honest and stuff. But as you grew up, you realized that wasn't the right, wasn't the way it should be done.
Right.
But you know how I am. Unless apparently I'm tamping down on my tongue very hard and almost screwing everything up for the other Selkies.
Right, right, right. So what's your?
So what? I'm confused as to your opinion now.
I like honesty, but now I can sort of tell when which is appropriate.
Right, but I'm asking about me. My particular honesty.
I told you I like your honesty. It's endearing.
Because it's childish or because you just like it because it's part of me?
I like it because it's part of you. I can't imagine you any other way.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then I'm going to be honest.
Shoot.
I like you. And I don't just mean like I like you because you're my best friend.
Right.
You can do what you like about that. But I'm just telling you.
All right.
Stand up and actually walk out of the room at that point. Head back outside, sit down on a lawn chair, and just wait.
Before Eve actually has a chance to leave, he's probably going to kiss her full on. And yeah. So we're just going to assume that yeah, nature of course. Like
I know, we don't really need to go into the details. That's okay.
yeah. All right, and unless you want to do anything else, I say we can end.
That just sounded really bad. Okay, got it.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So
We'll leave it there.
well, eventually. So
Yeah.
Eve and Valeris are yes, and thank you for watching. Thank you for this amazing, silly, fun time, and thank you for watching. And good night, good morning, good evening.